morning, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, children of every varying age. Welcome to WWE Raw on this wonderful October Monday night here in the calendar year 2014. We are here live from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. It is full to the rafters, and we are getting right underway on our first ever foray into YouTube programming. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Vince McMahon, our esteemed chairman and CEO, has signed a very lucrative deal for both parts that is bringing all WWE programming straight to YouTube onto your computer screen 6 times a week, pay-per-views once a month. It's going to be fantastic. Leading off this evening, our first match, we have Matt Hardy going one-on-one against the Road Dogg. Now, for those of you that have not been following, since we have not been on programming for a little while now, Matt and his brother Jeff have recently re-signed with the WWE a matter of weeks ago, and frankly, they've had kind of a hard luck cause so far. They're not doing too well. They're typically losing their matches. They haven't really bust onto the tag team scene yet, and we're waiting to see if they do anything there, but for the most part, they've been in low-card singles matches and have not been doing so hot. But this man, on the other hand, has had one of the more interesting 2014s of anybody in the Federation, the Road Dogg Jesse James. The year starts off, and his longtime tag team partner, the badass Billy Gunn, is sent down to NXT, effectively ending the New Age Outlaws. Now, DX is still an entity. You still have Triple H, Shawn Michaels, X-Pac, and the Road Dogg cruising around together backstage. The problem is, X-Pac and Shawn Michaels are on SmackDown, the Road Dogg and Triple H are here on Raw, and you never really see them tag up all that often, so the Road Dogg has been focusing on his singles career as of late. He notched another United States Championship victory earlier this year, and he had a pretty impressive reign with that belt. He fought off all kinds of competition here on Raw, establishing rivalries for the belt with everyone from Dolph Ziggler to The Miz, to the returning Kevin Nash, to David Otunga, who just came up from NXT last month. Now here we are with the match underway. We're going to have Hardy digging into Road Dogg right off the bat. Now the Road Dogg, when he held that title, made a lot of enemies, and it got to the point where Chairman Vince McMahon, who had bigger things to fry at the top of the card, he decided he was a little bit annoyed by it all, and at SummerSlam made a 6-man over-the-top rope battle royal for that championship, and the newest competitor for the title, David Otunga, who had just weeks earlier been called up from NXT, he was officially entered into that match, and he actually won. He eliminated every single competitor in that match. So the next night on Raw, the Road Dogg comes out to join the announcing team during a match between his enemy Dolph Ziggler and the Big Red Machine Kane, and Road Dogg, who's obviously upset at the time, decides to pick a fight with the monster. And there is Matt Hardy with a big scoop slam. He's automatically heading for the turnbuckle all the way across the ring, though. He misses completely with a flying clothesline. I don't know what he was thinking there, but this could be indicative of his advanced age. So the Road Dogg with a huge flying neckbreaker out of nowhere right there. He's got Matt Hardy down. So the Road Dogg decided to get off the commentary and attack Kane for no reason whatsoever, and that led to a rivalry that went all through last month and culminated last night at Night of Champions with a vicious Inferno match that honestly leaves me surprised to see Road Dogg even in action tonight. Mere hours ago, his left arm was completely on fire and he was being doused with a fire extinguisher right up the entrance ramp. I give him credit for coming right back out and competing, but you have to wonder what his motivation is. This is just Matt Hardy. Is he trying to set some kind of tone here, trying to prove a point? Is he just letting himself be bait for Kane to come out and attack him again? Either way, it looks like Matt Hardy has an early advantage here, as he is trying to get his career back on track. He, one of many who has come over since pretty much every other large or independent promotion in America has failed, and WWE has become the preeminent association for professional wrestling in the world. They've absorbed a lot. The AWA roster has recently taken on the full wave of Chikara superstars in the wake of that particular promotion shutting down. Oh, and there is a big Samoan drop from the Road Dogg. He could gain a little bit of the tactical advantage back from this. Matt Hardy gets up and he's immediately trading blows. Road Dogg's got the arm twisted around. He's got him into a headlock. And he's going to throw Matt Hardy around. He's going to whip, and another big Samoan drop. All right, there we go. Road Dogg is building his momentum. He's kind of putting Matt Hardy where he wants him, stepping on the chest. The classic Road Dogg maneuver there. He's got him behind with a surfboard stretch. Matt looking like he's in obvious discomfort. The ref checking on him. Is he going to be able to get out? Is he? There we go. He's going to break out of it. He flips Road Dogg over and rolls out himself. And we're going to continue on here, folks. Oh, there's a big back body drop from Road Dogg, immediately taking the momentum away from Matt Hardy. And we're all interested to see if the Hardy Boys can really regain any of that amazing... Oh my god, Matt Hardy Huge signature maneuver there. He climbs up top. He's signaling for something big. He misses the leg drop. The Road Dogg rolls out of the way. Oh, no. He's obviously hurt from that. But he gets up and he's swinging. He throws a fist. There we go. There it is. The huge twist of fate. The Matt Hardy little net breaker, Johnny John. And Road Dogg kicks out of the cover there. Road Dogg with Matt Hardy in a headlock. But we're interested to see if the Hardys can recapture any of their early 2000s glory they had here in WWE. So far, they've been completely ineffective. The highlight of their matches have been losing to people like Kane and the Road Dogg on WWE Superstars on Thursday nights. They've had a few matches on Raw, but I think the only time any of them have won since they came back was when Matt beat the Road Dogg 2 weeks ago because Kane interfered in the match after the ref was knocked unconscious. So he had a little assistance there, and it wasn't because Kane likes Matt Hardy. It was because Kane wants to see the Road Dogg burn big time. So now moving forward, after his loss last night at Night of Champions, we have to wonder, what is the Road Dogg's future here at the WWE? Does he pursue his United States Championship again? Does he head into the tag team race? What does he do? Does he continue to wrestle as much as he has? He is one of the most consistently featured superstars we have, but he is getting up there in age himself, and we're just not sure if he can do this forever. And Matt Hardy is now looking to come back. He's signaling forward again. He dives with a leg drop, but he completely misses as the Road Dogg was obviously standing up. You're not going to hit a leg drop on a standing opponent. It's just not going to happen. And there's a big flying neck breaker from Matt Hardy, and he's trying to stomp. He's just going crazy right now, trying to get some kind of offensive advantage. The drop toe hold. Oh, and we have Road Dogg busted open in the ring. He's got blood. There is blood. There is juice on the canvas, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Hardy with a huge clothesline. He brings Road Dogg down. He's bringing that momentum right back. He signals to the crowd that he's back in this thing. He's got Road Dogg up, and he's got him behind for that little leg headlock. There is an elbow drop. Matt Hardy, he's looking kind of sluggish, though. He's holding his side. He may have gotten hurt on one of his botched leg drops there. Road Dogg, meanwhile, has him with the grapple, and he drops for the little bit of a chin breaker there. Road Dogg holding his head. He's bleeding profusely from it. That drop toe hold must have got him just the right way. Must have pinched his skin against the mat. And there's another big neck breaker. We've seen a few of those in this match. Those quick-fire running maneuvers. Oh, and there is Matt Hardy again with the big move. Is he going to capitalize this time? He signals to the crowd. He's going for it. But he misses an elbow drop. Road Dogg rolls out of the way. There's Matt Hardy again with the big-time neck breaker. Road Dogg is down. He is hurt. He rolls out of the ring. He's looking for that advantage. He takes a breather, and he gets back in. Hardy attempts to give him a shoulder block to the outside, but Road Dogg evades it. And there's Hardy. He's got Road Dogg down for a little bit of an armbar, wrenching it back. They're both hurt. Hardy goes for the pin. We have a 1. We have a 1. And the Road Dogg kicks out. And there's another huge running clothesline from Matt Hardy. Can he use this to his advantage? Can he keep Road Dogg down? Oh, Road Dogg with the big reversal. Matt Hardy is staggered. Road Dogg. Oh, Matt Hardy reverses into a high-angle DDT, and he's going up top one more time. Is he going to hit it? He signals to the crowd. There's a big leg drop, and he nails it right across Road Dogg's face. Here comes the pin. 1. Just another 1 count, and the Road Dogg kicks out. He's incredibly resilient for a man who was literally on fire last night. But here comes the Road Dogg with his pump handle slam, the patented maneuver. He's got Matt Hardy down. Is Matt Hardy going to kick out? We have 1. 1 count. Matt Hardy does kick out. This is exciting so far, ladies and gentlemen. Road Dogg with another big neck breaker. They seem to just be trading those. And now he steps on Matt Hardy's face. Oh, he's twisted the skin of his forehead around. Another big chest stomp there. He's just toying with him at this point. And here we go. 1, 2. 2 count. Matt Hardy gets out. 2 count. And he comes up swinging. Road Dogg blocks. He gets behind Matt Hardy, holding him around the midsection. And there's a big back suplex, snapping Matt Hardy down onto his neck. He's holding the back of his head. Did not take the impact well. We've got another pinfall. And Matt Hardy looks like he's struggling. And that's it. That's it. That was a 3 count. Road Dogg wins. He was on fire last night. He was defeated. He was embarrassed by Kane. He comes out here and he sends a message, taking on Matt Hardy and putting him down one-on-one. If I'm Kane, I'm probably not all that scared of this. But if I'm David Otunga, I may be worried that somebody's coming back for his belt. But it's funny because David Otunga no longer holds that belt, forgets the announcer. Last night at Night of Champions, The Miz beat David Otunga one-on-one and is your new United States Champion. And if I'm not mistaken, officially the most successful United States Champion the WWE has ever had. So maybe The Miz is going to have to deal with little bit of old school DX heat coming on him right now because the Road Dogg is victorious. The Road Dogg has a nice long month of October ahead of him. And we're moving right into our second match of the evening, and if you're asking me if I am booking this show tonight, this is our main event. I'm not sure why it's second on the card, but we have our former tag team champions and current number one contenders to the belts, the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk, making their way out to the ring right now, as intimidating as they ever have been. They're going to be taking on the most intriguing tag team in professional wrestling today. You've got our brand new WWE champion CM Punk as of last night, and his tag team partner, number one contender to his championship, friend and simultaneous enemy, Bret Hart. They'll be coming out in just a moment, and I'm not sure what to think of this, but I'm looking over my standings right now. We're looking over the power rankings, and the tag team of CM Punk and Bret Hart is third in line for the tag team titles, currently held by the new acolytes, JBL and Farouk, behind the Road Warriors. Those three are at the top, and here comes CM Punk, your champion, as of hours ago, and the crowd loves it. He's got the belt back. It was a long month without it, but he beat Bret Hart, Brock Lesnar, DDP, and Chris Jericho at a championship scramble last night, scoring the critical fall over Brock Lesnar, who will be in this evening's main event, by the way. Here comes Punk strutting out to the ring. He's got the gold around his waist again. He's a very happy man. If you'll recall, that's the only reason he and Bret Hart formed their tag team in the first place. CM Punk had been so long without the WWE title as Brock Lesnar and Triple H were dominating the Raw lineup that he went to Bret Hart for advice, asking a former established champion to help him regain the belt. Hart agreed. They became a tag team together, and the rest was history from there. They had great success in the division. They never won the tag team titles, but they put on some great matches. And then all of a sudden, Bret Hart won the WWE Championship. Obviously, that's going to cause some heat between he and Punk, and they have been feuding the entire summer into fall of 2014 so far, back and forth since the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. They have been a thorn in each other's sides. And here comes the Hitman right now, CM Punk's tag team partner. And you just never know with these guys anymore. Heading into Night of Champions, they were displaying some great sportsmanship in their one-on-one matches. If Punk would beat Hart, Hart would shake his hand, vice versa. They seemed to be on the same page again, despite the fact that they were forced to fight for the WWE Championship, and it really brought this unique dynamic to the feuds for that belt. But then, before all of that, around the time of Money in the Bank, around the time of SummerSlam, they were constantly interfering in each other's matches and hurting each other. If they had tag matches, as they did after Money in the Bank, when CM Punk first won, and Vince McMahon decided that tag teams are the way to go in WWE right now and forced them into lots of competition, they would more often than not turn on each other and leave the other stranded in the ring. And it's just been a crazy little relationship they've had recently. The fans seem to think that they're on the same page again. They're very excited to see them out here. But you just have to wonder, with CM Punk holding that belt again, can they hold it together? Or what? Can the Road Warriors just get a win here and stay hot on the Acolyte's tail? So we are underway here. Got CM Punk in the ring. And your announcer always gets his Road Warriors mixed up, so he's just going to call him Road Warrior. Hawk or Animal. Hawk and or Animal. Your call, guys. Now, the Road Warriors are another interesting story. I mean, ever since, I'm going to say 3 years ago, they have just been the dominant force in the WWE Tag Team division. They have held the tag team titles longer than anybody else over that stretch, more different times than anybody else over that stretch. Their closest competition had been Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, who would maybe win the belts for a month and then immediately lose them, and then the Road Warriors would go on another 7-month tear, just beating everybody. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara losing to him countless times, DX losing to him countless times. It's been all about the Road Warriors here in WWE. And then JBL, of all people, John Bradshaw Layfield, decided a few months back that he was coming out of retirement, and he reformed the Acolytes with Farouk, who had been wrestling on SmackDown in singles competition, also enjoying a bit of a career renaissance. And the two of them quickly charged straight up the tag team division, and at SummerSlam, they managed to separate the Road Warriors from the tag team titles. It was impressive, it was wonderful, and the Road Warriors the next month won them back. And then last night at Night of Champions, the Acolytes won yet again, getting their second reign as tag team champions in just under 2 months here in WWE. And the Road Warriors, obviously, a few hours later, are not very happy about this, and they're hoping to decimate their next in line competition. But with competition like Bret the Hitman Hart and CM Punk, the best in the world, and the best there ever was, the best there ever will be, come on, like, you're not going to steamroll these guys, unless, of course, you are. Right now, we've got Bret Hart in the ring, taking a little bit of a beating right now. The Road Warriors' effective strategy so far, they're tagging in and out while they're still fresh. They're not letting one another get hurt. CM Punk standing along the outside. And Hart trying to fight his way back in, working on the leg. He throws his Road Warrior into the ropes, and there's a nice big back body drop, high impact. Oh, and Punk has him held, and there's Bret Hart. Little taunt, little slap to the face. Punk lets go, the ref allows it. There's a little bit of the chemistry that made them the great tag team they have been, despite their personal woes in this little rivalry / best buddy ship they have going on. Now they're over in the Road Warriors corner, and Bret Hart is at a disadvantage. He finds himself in a headlock, and here he is. He's up in the air, and that is a big suplex. The Hitman is down. And he's trying to fight out of it, but he is on the wrong side of the ring. You do not want to be in a corner near both Road Warriors simultaneously. And Punk trying to egg him on a little bit over in his own corner. And I cannot embellish enough. For those of you that are new to the new age of WWE programming here, our first ever Raw on YouTube, coming to you live in HD. I can't stress enough how iconic this rivalry between CM Punk and Bret Hart has been. Never since the days of the mega powers of Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage have we seen friends turn enemies turn friends in such rapid fire fashion, and it all revolves around the gold that is currently around CM Punk's waist. Some fans think that he has a point in being upset with Bret Hart for going after the belt that he acknowledged he was going after when they forged their tag team. He went to Bret Hart to give him advice on winning the belt back, and instead of helping Punk, we've got a submission hold in the ring right now, and Punk across the ring up the turnbuckle for no reason. But it's fought out. Punk shoulder blocks the Road Warrior off the apron, and he charges out after him. We've got a brawl outside now between Punk and his own Road Warrior. I promise, as the announcer here, who is very focused on professional announcing and commentatorship, that I will learn the difference between my Road Warriors before the next time they appear on WWE programming. Hint, hint. But many people here believe that CM Punk has a point in being upset that Bret Hart essentially stole the belt that he was going after. The history with this, the belt changes. As I mentioned, Brock Lesnar was basically on top of the world for a solid 2 years. Well, last year at Money in the Bank, Chris Jericho, Y2J, won the briefcase. Heading into 2014 at the Elimination Chamber, Brock Lesnar was in an Elimination Chamber match to defend his title, and he held off all comers. He won the match, he came out victorious, but he was very, very exhausted. Chris Jericho used the advantage, came down to the ring, cashed in his contract, and became the WWE Champion. Oh, and there's Bret Hart getting double-teamed by the Road Warriors in their corner. Punk helpless to do anything. Bret Hart is really being decimated right now. So, Chris Jericho was the WWE Champion after Extreme Rules earlier this year. He held the title for a month. There's Hart. He gets to his corner and he tags in a fresh Punk. Punk is ready. And we've got a tag from the Road Warriors as well. Fresh partners in, charging at each other. Big bulldog to CM Punk. He's down on the mat. That one hurt a lot for sure. So Chris Jericho headed into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion, and he found himself in a triple threat match against Brock Lesnar and Rikishi Fatu, of all people, who really just had a very successful April here at the WWE. In that triple threat match, there's Punk with a submission hold. Hart runs across the ring and gives a nice shoulder block, knocks his Road Warrior off, but the submission is broken out of anyway. Bret Hart stuck running back to his own corner. And there he heads. We're back around. The Road Warriors are back up to an advantage. So in that triple threat match, Rikishi, not Chris Jericho, the retaining champion, not Brock Lesnar, the challenger, who should have won because he had been champion forever. Rikishi won the WWE Championship. In the process, Chris Jericho found himself hurt and would miss several months of activity, and Brock Lesnar fell down the card pretty severely for letting the underdog win. So Rikishi held that title for exactly 1 month, and over the course of that month, between WrestleMania and Extreme Rules, it was Bret the Hitman Hart who became the #1 contender. Oh, and here we go. We've got a nice double team from Bret and CM Punk. Double hip toss into a kick, chest and back simultaneously. And they have their Road Warrior on the ropes right now. Punk back outside of the ring. That was a good bit of chemistry. If anybody was thinking maybe they're not on the same page after Punk won the belt back last night, maybe Bret Hart is a little bit upset about the outcome of that. So Rikishi held the belt until Extreme Rules when Bret Hart became his #1 contender, and they met in a one-on-one match for the title. Bret Hart won. It was his first WWE Championship in way too many years, almost a full 20 years since he had won the WWE Championship last. And now we're outside of the ring by the announcer's table, and Punk with a big back suplex. Bret Hart on the staggered Road Warrior there. Punk's got him from behind, but it's reversed into a headlock and a big punch to the face, but then Bret Hart retaliates with a huge bulldog. They've got a big double team going on out here, and there is carnage on the floor. CM Punk is going up top. He turns to the outside. His Road Warrior is thrown into the pole. CM Punk dives, and he completely misses a huge body slash. Oh, he just belly flopped on the floor of the arena. I'm surprised he got up that fast. And he's immediately after the Road Warrior again, but he can't quite get to him. Now he's back on the apron, and Bret Hart is back to getting a little bit of a beating inside the ring as Punk is reaching, but he can't quite get a hold of his adversary here. So Bret Hart became the champion, and the first month of his reign was great. CM Punk was fine with it. They didn't really tag up at all because now Bret Hart had his own little piece of gold to defend. The next month at Over the Limit, he defeated Lord Tensai in a tables match to retain his belt. And the next night on Raw, he had a one-on-one match against Kane, non-title. There's a huge back suplex from CM Punk. And now they've got a bit of an advantage again as Bret Hart is going to work in the ring. CM Punk can get him on from close range on the apron. Hart with a nice big stomp, but he's pushed away. They lock up, and Hart's got him back. So the next night on Raw, Hart and Kane squared off, and CM Punk and Kane had a bit of a rivalry leading into Over the Limit when Bret Hart did beat Lord Tensai. Kane, in the match, noticed that CM Punk came running out to the ring, and Punk just immediately attacked him, went for his knees, really hurt Kane. And as Bret Hart was about to thank him, Punk turned around and decked his tag team partner and friend. And Punk misses with another aerial maneuver. He was going for a springboard crossbody, and he is belly flopped to the outside again, taking himself out of the match momentarily. There's a big back body drop from Hart inside the ring. Punk is back up on the apron, nonchalantly walking like he did not just embarrass himself in front of 17,000 WWE fans. Looked like Bret Hart was going for a tag, but Punk got off the apron, exchanging some words, not happy. Punk jumps into the ring. He's getting back outside. He's not going to let his temper get the best of him. And now Hart is thrown outside. There's an elbow drop. And Punk with a nice big back suplex again. There's a double team. Punk is feeling fired up on the outside. And backbreaker from Bret Hart to his Road Warrior adversary. He's staggered outside. Oh, Punk misses another big move. Hart throws him across the arena to the crowd barricade. The crowd is alive and well right now. And they're just toying with the Road Warrior outside of the ring here by the announcer's table, but they're back in the ring now. Both Hart and Punk. Punk enziguring the Invisible Man. And Bret Hart has his Road Warrior up on the top. He's setting him up. This could be a superplex. Punk chasing the other Road Warrior outside of the ring, and it's a huge superplex from Bret Hart. Can he get a pinfall here? Punk's got the other partner distracted. No. Bret Hart picks him up. Why not cover him there, Hitman? He throws him to the outside. We've got this table uncovered. I don't know what's going to happen here, but Punk is laid out again on the other side. Bret Hart doesn't see the attack coming from behind him, and he's thrown into the barricade himself. And here's Punk. It's an all-out brawl outside of the ring here. The ref is a slow count, if anything, right now. And now we've got Bret Hart being dragged, but he can't quite get all the way to the announcer's table. It looks like somebody is going to go through this tinder no matter what. Yep, there's Bret Hart. He's leaned up against it. But he's up. He's up. He's no longer staggered. Now, both Bret Hart and CM Punk are in the ring as the Road Warriors seem to circle the wagons a little bit here. And there's Punk with a suicide dive, taking out the other Road Warrior. Bret Hart is stalking his across the ring. This may end up as a countout if we're not careful. This is getting a little bit too close for comfort. So, CM Punk attacked both of them the night after Extreme Rules, and that launched CM Punk and Bret Hart into a very long-standing one-on-one feud. Punk would win the belt in a submission match at Money in the Bank. Bret Hart would win it back at SummerSlam. Punk won it back last night at Night of Champions, and they have just been trading back and forth all summer into the early fall, and they seem, as I mentioned, over the past few weeks to have regained their composure as a functioning tag team. We'll see how this match goes. We've already had some heated words between them. Oh, and there is Punk with a nice big maneuver. He's back outside of the ring so the ref doesn't disqualify him. He's trying to kick across, but he can't quite reach. And Hart again throwing the Road Warrior out of the ring. They do not want to stay in the ring here. It's almost as if they were programmed to be outside of the ring, going toward one specific goal involving the announcer's table or the barricade. Almost. It's almost like they can't do anything else. Oh, and now we've got some big slams against the steel turnbuckle post, and Punk. Oh my god! Oh my god, the table's been shattered with a huge unorthodox offensive maneuver. An inverted neckbreaker from Punk sends a Road Warrior through the announcer's table. Excuse me while I go get my microphone. And now we're fighting in the shrapnel of the table. Punk is taking a serious offensive advantage here. He's not the legal partner. Bret Hart is, and Bret Hart has been thrown into a barricade. And Punk and Bret Hart have just taken this rivalry and they've run with it. It's had its other competitors. Chris Jericho, should be mentioned, came back from his injury at this year's Money in the Bank. Oh, we have a pinfall in the ring, but it's kicked out of. And Punk is still going to work on the non-legal Road Warrior outside of the ring here on what used to be our announcer's table. Now, it should be noted that Chris Jericho returned from his injury sustained at WrestleMania. He came back at Money in the Bank as the mystery sixth man, the third man from Raw that Vince McMahon teased the fans with that they would find out at the pay-per-view. He came back and he won his second consecutive Money in the Bank contract. He has yet to even hint at cashing it in. He is Mr. Money in the Bank. I'm sure he'll be playing a part in this particular feud very soon. And Punk misses another big flying splash. He is down outside. Bret Hart is isolated. So we've had Chris Jericho involved between the two of them in one capacity or another. We've had Brock Lesnar constantly trying to get back into the title hunt, and he's been there. Oh, and Bret Hart is thrown through the stairs as the ref continues to count inside the ring. Now Hart and Punk are both down. The Road Warriors have an advantage, but one of them is bleeding heavily from his head. And now we're whipped into the barricade here. And Bret Hart is just throwing him around. CM Punk with a big elbow to the chest. Now, Brock Lesnar has been a thorn in the side of both Bret Hart and CM Punk, especially last month heading into Night of Champions. Brock Lesnar looked to make himself the number one contender for the belt and take on Hart at the pay-per-view, but Punk maintained the status, and it was almost as if he was doing it to protect Bret Hart from the beatdown that Brock Lesnar would put on him. Now, as we know, heading into Night of Champions, it's going to be a championship scramble match anyway, so number one contender tends to not matter as long as you're in the top 5 for the belt at that pay-per-view. Brock Lesnar was indeed in the match, but he was technically the loser of the match, as CM Punk was an early entrant, pinned Brock Lesnar very early on, and then just basically hung back and made sure that nobody else had a pinfall or submission. Unfortunately, Bret Hart was the 5th entrant and couldn't do anything to retain his belt. And CM Punk is the new champion. So far, not too much mention of it aside from the little bit of heated words we saw earlier. And now we're outside again, and we're in the corner of the barricade, and we're just getting thrown around. This is a brutal match. It is a long match. Everyone is fatigued. There's another big German suplex from CM Punk, sends his Road Warrior down. He is cradling his head. He is not happy about this. Hart slides back into the ring. CM Punk stalking along the outside, and there is a huge around-the-world DDT right there. And the Road Warrior is staggered. He is not enjoying this. His partner is desperate for a tag. Oh my god, and there's a German suplex from CM Punk to Bret Hart out of nowhere. Is this indicative of what happened last night? Is this indicative of the rivalry still alive? Are they only competing because they technically have to earn a paycheck? That was completely unprovoked, unless you're looking at the words they had earlier about the missed tag from Punk, but that was Punk's fault. I don't know, if I'm Bret Hart, I take offense to that. I mean, German suplexes hurt, especially outside of the ring, eschewing his own chance at winning the match. Now, Hart is down, but now Punk is in the ring, and he delivers a big German suplex to the Road Warrior, seemingly saving Bret Hart. It seems that in this relationship, CM Punk is the completely unpredictable one. You know how Bret Hart is going to act. He's going to do what he can to be a champion and be the best in the world. CM Punk tends to be a little bit more conniving, and you don't quite know where he is. He's got a screw or two loose, if you know what I mean, and he's a liability. But now he's in the ring, and he's got his Road Warrior up on his shoulders. Could it be? It's the go to sleep. It's the go to sleep. He's down. Bret Hart's in the ring. We've got a pinfall. Hart running across, and he grabs the other Road Warrior. This is it. That's a 3 count. CM Punk and Bret Hart win. The Road Warriors have been defeated. CM Punk and Bret Hart could very well be moving up the ladder in the tag team division, forging a name to challenge for the Acolytes tag team belts. And in the meantime, they hate each other. They argued during the match. CM Punk gave his tag team partner a headfirst German suplex on the outside, the floor of the arena, the unprotected floor. And they could very well be challenging for the tag team championships at Hell in a Cell later this month. Only in the WWE, folks. I can tell you right now that this little rivalry slash friendship slash tag team slash blood feud is far from over. And it, honestly, our chairman and GM of Raw, Vince McMahon, may have to step in and do something here. This is going to be hell for everybody else involved if these two, oh my god, they're near each other outside of the ring. But Punk is celebrating, and Hart is celebrating, and they're celebrating near each other. Your guess is as good as mine, folks. We're moving on to our third match of the night. We have a little bit of Divas competition here. We have our WWE Divas Champion, Eve, making her way to the ring, and she is set for a one-fall, non-title match against her biggest rival here in WWE, Beth Phoenix. The two of them combined, easily the most successful Divas Champions we have seen over the past 3 years here in the WWE. Eve in particular has held this belt for just about the last 7 months concurrent, with no real challengers. She, a few months back, had a pretty big rivalry with Karma. Karma has since kind of fallen off, not getting as many matches anymore. Beth Phoenix is obviously her chief rival, but Beth Phoenix, despite her greatest efforts at each of the last few pay-per-views, has been unable to separate Eve from the title. Theirs is a long-term rivalry, and it's a rivalry that has branched out into those relationships of other wrestlers on the roster. If you'll remember, it was about a year and a half ago that Beth and Eve were involved in not a love triangle, but kind of a love square, or maybe a parallelogram, with Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, who at the time were the tag team champions, where each woman seemed to be attracted to each man in the equation, and kind of vice versa. And it got really weird to the point that the Kofi Kingston and R-Truth were distracted enough by the happenings outside of the ring that they ended up losing their tag team titles last year, the last time they actually held the tag team titles, to the Road Warriors, who we just saw lose a match to Bret Hart and CM Punk. Kofi and R-Truth since then, as you'll very obviously remember, are bitter enemies at this point, and we're not sure if they're even registered as a legal tag team here in WWE anymore. R-Truth has been taking on the world in Raw main events. He and Brodus Clay have had an impressive rivalry recently, but it has been broken up almost every match by Kofi Kingston coming out and attacking R-Truth. There have been little moments where they say, oh, maybe we should try it again, and then Kofi turns on him. And it's all because of these two women in the ring right now who are no best friends themselves. And I can tell you right now, Beth Phoenix is on an absolute mission to show the world that she can beat Eve. This may not be the most meaningful match for her to win, but you know she wants it. She's got a very early advantage, using strength that she has, using size that she has. Every natural advantage she has over Eve is going to become apparent in this match, and frankly, my money is on Beth Phoenix here. She's been a hard luck loser too many times, but now Eve, this is where she wins in the Divas division. She has the speed and the agility. A head scissor into a drop kick. Beth Phoenix is dazed. This is why Eve has been the champion forever. She's got this mix of athleticism and cunning intellect that it seems no one else has in the division. Ever since Trish Stratus returned to active competition, she seems to have been the closest to this level of athleticism. But oh my, Eve catches Beth Phoenix in midair. Oh my god, driving a knee into her ribs. How do you support that body weight? Eve is literally half the size of Beth Phoenix. That should be physically impossible. This is why she's the Divas champion. And those of you who have been longtime WWE programming viewers will remember that At one time, in the 20 teens, merely 3 years ago, this division was a joke. Matches were on average 30 seconds long. They were not given TV time. They were not liked by any. Well, give Eve, give Beth Phoenix, give the resurgent Trish Stratus and Lita credit here in WWE now in 2014. They have absolutely, hands down, revitalized this division. They have trained harder than the men. They've been in the weight room longer. Their athleticism is through the roof. And frankly, they have more consistently put on what I would consider quote-unquote epic matches than any of the men on this, any of our 4 rosters. And you look at Eve here, you look at the Bella Twins in NXT, and you look at young Caitlyn, the AWA champion, and you just see a brilliant, bright, long future for this division's success here in the WWE. Now back to the match at hand. Eve seems to have her champion's advantage now, again utilizing speed. There is a big bulldog from behind. Beth goes face first into the mat. Eve seeming to have a reversal for everything in this match, and as I say that, Beth Phoenix fights her way around Eve. Eve fights back out and gets Beth in a headlock. They're just chain wrestling here, grappling. As I mentioned, they've been training harder than anyone else. Their matches are more technical than any combination of Daniel Bryan, Kurt Angle, and the late, great Chris Benoit. It's insane how good at wrestling the women of WWE have become. And if you are new to our YouTube programming, you will not regret sticking around for these matches. I promise you that. In fact, statistics show more divas end up going through the announcers table every year than men on this WWE roster. And now you know. Again, back to the match, and Beth Phoenix seems to have an advantage. She's signaling a big move coming in. And she's got Eve up. Oh, there it is, the big vertical suplex. Eve's back driven into the mat. We know what that's going to set up. Or is it? Eve fights her way out of it. And there's another big head scissor. The speed, the agility. This is what's going to keep Eve alive in this division against stronger competition like Beth Phoenix and Karma. You've got Chyna down in AWA who's trying to make her own comeback into professional wrestling, and she's been doing well. If she can end up winning that belt and get promoted, big problems here. Oh, and there it is. The Glam Slam into a pinfall. And then, and Eve kicks out. Just barely by the look of it. She was very dazed, but there's a huge clothesline. She's immediately back into it. Her concentration is not sapped. And now Eve working from behind Beth Phoenix here. Beth twisting the arm around. And I mean, the big question, we've got lots of divas here in the WWE Universe today. Is there anyone that can actually beat Eve for this title right now? Eve just seems to be in the prime of her career. She seems completely unbeatable. Even when she looks beatable, she doesn't lose the match. She finds a way to win. And I'm looking at the more seasoned veterans who have come back recently, like Trish Stratus, like Lita. I'm hoping maybe one of them can do it. We're looking at some of the other divas we have. I mean, poor Kelly Kelly just gets decimated every time she's in a match anymore. But like I said, we've got Caitlyn down in AWA. We've got AK Eve in NXT, a completely new signee, very young, very fresh-faced. If she can work her way up here to WWE, maybe she can find success. But at the end of the day, you can't write anybody into it without them first stepping across Eve's path successfully. And nobody has been able to do that for the better part of the last year, dating back to 2013. And here is Eve with another advantage, sending Beth Phoenix around, and there is a big armbar, wrenching it back, working that arm. And now Eve backs up, and there's the flip, there's the somersault, snapping Beth Phoenix's upper body around, making her spine succumb to her will. And there's that inverted atomic drop. Now focusing on the leg, and Eve is going limb by limb here, but then Beth Phoenix up with a huge running DDT. The power moves from Beth Phoenix are what are going to let her beat Eve. She just has to learn how to time them correctly, because Eve is all about pace. Eve is a human metronome. I bet she times herself to piano players or drummers in bands. And there is another Glam Slam. Eve has to be out now. Beth Phoenix with the pinfall. She's got the shoulder down. And that's it. That's the 3 count. Beth Phoenix has done it. Beth Phoenix has beaten Eve, and she has sent a message across the Divas roster. If this was a pay-per-view, Beth Phoenix would be the champion. And if she can keep doing this and maintain her status as #1 contender, come Hell in a Cell, we are going to have a new Divas champion, and Eve is finally going to be separated from her belt. We have to see if Beth can do it. She's going to have to train harder than she ever has before. She may have to put on weight. She may have to muscle up for this. But if she can work a match the way that she just did, and subvert the cadence that Eve is putting forth, she can do it. And Beth Phoenix is happy. Beth Phoenix is very happy, and deservedly so. She's just beaten the Divas champion, and she knows in her heart that she can do it again, given another opportunity. And moving into our fourth match of the night, we have DDP versus Tensai, and Tensai attacks DDP from behind on the ramp. These two, not exactly friends as of late. Tensai has just been a cancer on the Raw roster, and DDP has found himself up along the WWE Championship, has not quite been able to score the belt, but he finds himself in matches at pay-per-views often enough, and oh my god! How do you do that to Tensai? A huge suplex from DDP. They're still outside of the ring. The match has not started. This is an unsanctioned brawl. DDP has been thrown through the steel stairs. This is going to get out of hand really quickly. We need to get people down here right now. This has to get organized. Oh my god, a belly to belly. Oh my god! Oh my god! Tensai thrown into the steel ring post. Thrown. Tensai, a 300-pounder, thrown by a yoga instructor into the steel ring post. He hit the top of the post. His whole body absorbed the impact. I can't believe what I've just seen. And DDP is just... I mean, DDP was attacked on the ramp, and he is just taking control of this right now. This is horrifying. And there's Tensai with a reversal. A huge tilt-to-whirl side slam. And now, Tensai has control. He's got DDP on the turnbuckle. The match has not begun. The bell has not been rung. They have not entered the ring at all. They may kill each other out here. This is awful right now. And there's Tensai. He's got DDP up. DDP reverses out into an inverted Russian leg sweep. Face first into the floor of the arena goes Tensai. And now, how is DDP doing this? He's holding Tensai in the air. Oh, DDP Yoga is paying off. I didn't know it would generate that kind of core strength. And DDP is taking control out here. Tensai, he thought he had an advantage sneaking up behind him, and DDP is just weakening him along the outside. But now Tensai back in control. Throws DDP into the ring, and he's got the choke applied. The bell is not rung yet because both competitors have yet to enter the ring. There we go, we're on now. And DDP right to the big flying suplex again. I don't know how he has become strong enough to throw Tensai around the ring like this, but I am terrified of what this means. We love DDP. DDP is a crowd favorite, but if he is this strong and this agile... Oh, there's another big tilt-to-whirl slam from Tensai, breaking up the little bit of a combo DDP was putting together. And Tensai with the submission hold in the ring. Can DDP fight his way out? He's already been weakened, hitting the floor too many times. But if DDP, with this combination of agility and insane superhuman strength, with a huge clothesline out of nowhere, if DDP can do this to Tensai, he can do this to anybody. And I'm starting to think that maybe CM Punk and Bret Hart might not matter, because DDP is coming for that title. Oh man, and Tensai, a former Royal Rumble winner, has been around the WWE Championship himself. As I mentioned earlier in our programming, his last flirt with it was in a losing effort in a tables match earlier this year at Over the Limit against Bret Hart. He has stayed up around the top of the card since then. His most notable feud recently was about a month-and-a-half long gig with The Rock, where they just continually destroyed each other. And this has been Tensai's MO. Oh my god! DDP, how? How? Tell me your secrets. Tensai has to be hurt, and Tensai flies out of the ring. DDP relentless going after him. There's a springboard. Oh my god. DDP misjudges. He misses the landing on a springboard flying body splash. Tensai's got him up there on the outside. The ref has his count going. Tensai is stomping. He's got DDP down on the ground. But there's DDP out of nowhere with the Diamond Cutter. The Diamond Cutter. The original RKO. And he's got the diamond in the air. The crowd loves it. Tensai is seemingly dead outside of the ring, hitting the floor face first. He's up. He's back in. The match is back on. Tensai's got to be hurting after that, but he reverses out of a grapple. He's got DDP in a headlock. DDP now behind Tensai. Tensai in a headlock again. And DDP with a big reverse atomic drop, and there's another huge belly-to-belly suplex. Tensai flopping around on the ring. DDP stronger than he has ever been, more athletic than he has ever been. Tensai is stunned. DDP with Tensai on his shoulders. Oh my god, there's a huge slam. And he's got the single leg Boston Crab, but there's a rope break. Oh, and DDP with another huge clothesline. Tensai is down. This is insane. This is completely insane. Here's a pinfall. And just about a 1.5 count. Tensai kicks out. Oh, and DDP steps out of the way of the headbutt, and there's another big belly-to-belly suplex. Tensai is being broken right now, and DDP with the punches, the patented punches. There it is, the big clothesline. Tensai's down. DDP staggers himself. He signals for the crowd. We're going to get another diamond cutter. Tensai is dead. He's dead man walking here. And there it is, the diamond cutter. Oh my god, the diamond cutter has it. DDP with the cover. 1, 2, 3. DDP wins. DDP wins. He beats Tensai in a very convincing match. Tensai, using the same tactics he's used up and down this Raw roster, tries to sneak up behind DDP and attack him. DDP turns it around on him, shows him who he's messing with, and shows everyone on this roster who the next WWE Champion should be. CM Punk, Bret Hart, put down your feud for a second. You're going to have someone knocking on your door very soon. This announcer calls it. And Tensai in the ring, in disbelief. Oh, DDP dodges a clothesline, and he's got punches to the face of Tensai. This is after the match is over, and he throws Tensai from the ring. The crowd has exploded. They love it. They hate Tensai. They love DDP. This could not have ended any better for him, and Tensai is completely dazed outside. DDP getting a shower of adulation from the crowd right now. Tensai is just more embarrassed than anything, and Brock Lesnar answered at Superstars. And he beat the crap out of Mysterio in a very short squash match. And now Mysterio's in the ring. We hear Lesnar's music. We don't see Lesnar there. He's coming from behind in the announcer's section. And he's got a big clothesline to start everything off. The unfair advantage for the big man. It's not like he needed that against Rey Mysterio here. But the match is underway, and Brock Lesnar is not happy about last night. The man who was pinned by CM Punk to give CM Punk the championship in the scramble. But now Rey Mysterio with his agility. There's a nice big spike DDT. He's got the energy going tonight. He doesn't care about the earlier attack, but Lesnar sidesteps a spinning wheel kick. And this looks to just be a bloodbath. There you go. Lesnar already has Rey Mysterio up for the F5. There's the F5. Mysterio face first. This could be a very short main event, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to write your angry letters to Mr. McMahon. Lesnar's got the pinfall. 1, 2, but Rey Mysterio kicks out. It's almost as if he expected it. Like he knows what's going to happen when he gets in the ring with Brock Lesnar here. And they're fighting. Rey Mysterio's actually fighting, but there's Brock Lesnar with a huge belly-to-back suplex, literally throwing Rey Mysterio across the ring. You see, now that is a believable toss. DDP tossing Lord Tensai. There had to be some ropes involved there. I don't quite understand it. But now we've got Lesnar thrown out of the ring, and Mysterio with a huge aerial maneuver brings him down. They're on the outside. They're here by the hastily reassembled announcer's table. And there's a spinning wheel kick that sends Brock Lesnar to the mat. Mysterio with a big advantage here, a dropkick right in the center of his back, right in a stupid tattoo. And Rey Mysterio with a big knee slam into the floor of the arena, working that. The Alamodome is still nice and loud from that last fan favorite match we had. Rey Mysterio, if he gets a huge win here, oh my god, there's a huge Hurricane Rana, just throwing Brock Lesnar around outside. If Mysterio gets a win here, this place is going to erupt. And there's a snapmare for Mysterio into some elbowing. And he's working him over on the floor of the arena out here. We've got a count working from the ref. They don't seem to care. This is a brawl. Brock Lesnar just sees red right now. He could be in the ring with anybody. Oh my god, he's thrown Mysterio into the corner. Lesnar slides back in the ring. Mysterio up the steps. He's been counted out. He was on the apron and he's been counted out. Brock Lesnar wins by countout. Are you kidding me? That's how we're going to go off the air tonight? Oh no, if I'm Rey Mysterio, I am upset. That ref has not been counting that fast all night. And for Brock Lesnar, a man almost 3 times the size of his opponent, to win that way tonight, he came into this match wanting to convince people that he could be the WWE Champion this year. I'm not convinced at all. I'm convinced he has to win thoroughly. But he's excited. He's excited regardless. He thinks it's a good win. He's happy. And frankly, a win is a win. It's going to move him up the card. He's still a dangerous competitor. If I'm CM Punk, I'm looking out for many more people than just Bret Hart. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you tomorrow night for NXT. Until then, as always, thank you for watching.